take a look at both of these lashes right here. I've specifically chosen these two lashes for this example because they do sit on the same layer, and I'm going to use them as an example of how important it is to place your extensions at the same distance across the entire eye from the lash line. So I like to place mine 0.5 millimeters away. 1 millimeter away is absolutely fine as well, as long as it is consistent. By placing your extensions too far away from the lash line, we will experience poor retention, an undesirable grow out, and the set will not be consistent in appearance. So if I'm just gonna place two extensions before I even go any deeper into this. So I'm using the exact same length, exact same dimension, exact same diameter, all that good stuff, but I'm gonna place one about 0.5 millimeters away from the skin. That's about a millimeter actually. So one placed a millimeter away from the skin. Now I'm gonna place another a little bit further away from the skin. So I've placed them both at a different point on the natural lash. So one, as you can see, this one right here, has been placed a little further away from the skin versus this one here that's placed a little bit closer. So although a millimeter or a half a millimeter doesn't seem like a lot, it really makes a difference to your set. So as I've said, these are both the same length, but when you look at them next to one another like this, you can see that they're staggered. The placement of this lash makes it look like it sits higher. So this 10 millimeter actually looks more like an 11 millimeter. And if we want a consistent soft line all the way across our set, not texture, then this is not going to do the trick. But if we want our set to look smooth all the way across and a uniform line, then we really want to not only think about the lengths that we're using, the curls that we're using, and so on, but we also want to make sure that every single fan is placed the same distance away from the skin. If you do want texture, that's totally fine. If you staggered them, you would get what you're going for. Now, I don't suggest doing this, but it would work for texture. Instead, let's work with lengths or curls to create texture because we want as nice of a grow out as possible. But on top of that, if we are working from eye to eye and we're placing our lashes inconsistently away from the lash line, then not only are we going to get texture, but we may actually prevent ourselves from creating balance from eye to eye, and one eye can end up looking a little bit bigger than the other or smaller or so on. So it is so important that we're always placing them consistently all the way across the lash line.